Top UFO investigator released a thing. He said aliens have an agenda, and it's not a peaceful one. What the f is a top UFO investigator? Like the #1 karma farmer on Reddit for the subreddit? Like, what is that? How can I find that? Leading UFO expert has investigated dozens of sightings over an impressive 45-year career and says aliens don't come in peace and have an agenda. I wonder what the agenda is. They come down here just to read our dank memes, post on Twitter. The UFO enigma is real, very real. It's been with us throughout time. We see this in Renaissance paintings and old cave paintings. These strange shapes and entities. I wouldn't say they're peaceful due to the thousands of UFO abductions worldwide. I woke up and my ass is sore. Damn you, aliens! Not again! They did get a photo from someone outside of the school. What, giving a thumbs up with one of the gray aliens? Straight out of XCOM? Here, why don't I look this up? So why is this being taken as like legitimate evidence as opposed to just someone giving the class a creative prompt of draw aliens, draw a UFO, watch a video on it?
One of the most common reasons that alleged encounters with unidentified flying objects are often dismissed is that they usually involve only 1 or 2 witnesses. But how has society
not even the main reason is because the idea of it is just so incomprehensible. Not only would the beings have to have somehow discovered faster than light travel to make it here, it would have somehow had to elude everyone else's gaze and have only a couple people, in this case 62 school children, see them. Like the amount of crazy coincidence that must all occur for only a small group to see that is very unlikely.
When such occurrences have taken place involving larger groups of onlookers. This week, we examine one such incident. Join us as we delve into the mysteries of the aerial school encounter.
I'm ready to... There is nobody on the planet that wants alien encounters to be real more than me. If this has compelling evidence, I would be elated. I would love that. I want to believe. But it is so unbelievably unlikely, and all of the evidence is so shit, that it's impossible, in good conscience, to believe that there are aliens that visit us periodically. The circumstances for such a thing to be true are very, 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 very low possibility.
It was predictably hot outside on the playground, as Colin Mackey sat waiting in a stuffy office for the rest of his teaching staff to join the meeting.
Oh, it's gonna be like a full story.
Currently, they were preparing their young charges to go out and play in the sun, but they would join him shortly. Pouring himself another cup of coffee, he glanced down at the newspaper on his desk and then smiled to himself. For the last 2 days, the headlines had been saturated by reports of UFOs hovering in the skies above Zimbabwe.
I immediately just don't believe this. So for multiple days, there have been headlines of UFOs hovering over the skies of Zimbabwe. And the only evidence we have is some children's drawings. Surely that would be major fucking news. And also, why would the aliens just be hovering over Zimbabwe? What are they doing there? They're just hovering there, doing nothing. Standing there menacingly like the hash-slinging slasher. What would be the purpose? Why would they have come there?
Each emerging description of these alleged sightings seemed to be more colourful and fantastic than the preceding ones. But despite the media clamour surrounding the reports, there was suspiciously little in the way of hard evidence to support them. He looked up as the first couple of teachers finally began to filter into the staff room. He listened with interest to the snippets of conversation that were taking place as they entered, trying to catch the surnames of any of the children that were being discussed. When the last participant finally arrived, he commenced the meeting as planned. As the head teacher of the aerial school, Mr. Mackey was ultimately responsible for the delivery of the national syllabus and the health and safety of his pupils. Daily responsibilities of a more menial nature were naturally delegated out to his staff, and so once a week, he liked to be able to gain an overall picture of what was going on within the school community.
And then he found out the aliens were overhead.
Had started out like any other,
transmitting 5G
with the usual
waves.
Concerns and complaints being raised. Blocked toilets, damage caused to the facility's perimeter fencing, and a lack of variety in the school dinner options were merely a few of the ongoing issues that needed to be tackled. But a short time into the discussion, Mackie became aware of a perceptible increase in volume coming from the children playing outside. As the disturbance had increased, he began to hear screaming and wailing, and it quickly became clear that something was quite amiss.
Oh, the aliens stole
As one,
their kickball.
the room immediately emptied, with every teacher running for the exits to find out what had upset the children. When they finally made it outside, the scene that awaited them was akin to something out of a science fiction movie. Roughly half of the pupils had strayed beyond the boundaries of the playground and were gathered around the border of a patch of nearby scrubland. All were clearly emotional, some having collapsed to the ground, whilst others stood crying. Several of the youngsters claimed they had encountered a Takolshi, an evil spirit from local folklore, but the older children told quite a different story, one of a little man from another world who had visited them in order to warn humanity about the future.
Let's go down this for a minute. So the aliens came here to warn us about the future. And the optimal way of warning us was to go to a small school in Zimbabwe and tell a group of children. That was the best way of delivering this warning of the future. They were talking about COVID. Imagine this is all very true. The aliens actually did just fucking boot, scoot, and boogie all the way down to Earth just to land here and be like, hey, there's this little thing called COVID. I'm letting you know it's right around the corner. No good. No good. All right. Good luck with that. We're out. We've done our job. Message delivered.
When Mackie asked one of the youths where this visitor had gone, the child pointed upwards and told the adult that the man in question had flown away again off up into the heavens. The headmaster stood scanning the skies above the school, but could see no trace of what the youngsters were describing. As he watched his staff move amongst the crying children, trying to comfort them, he realized that despite his skepticism, it was clear that something had taken place. Collecting several of the older pupils, he headed back to the school, explaining that he wanted them to draw
Here comes the drawings
what they had witnessed. The town of Rua lies approximately 22 miles southeast of the Zimbabwean capital, Harare.
Is it prime coded?
It is home to roughly 20,000 inhabitants and
maybe
sits on one of the country's main road and rail routes. Beyond these mundane statistics, there is little to distinguish this featureless settlement from many others within the country's borders. That is, save for an event which is believed to have taken place there one morning in September of 1994. In the 2 days prior to this alleged incident, the Zimbabwean media had been reporting a series of nocturnal UFO sightings above Harare. The majority of witnesses had described seeing glowing fireballs traversing the night skies. These lights had moved around at breakneck speeds, making impossible twists and turns, before shooting off again and out of sight. The Aerial School is a private elementary school, which is located on the outskirts of Rua.
Thanks, Risa Brasco, the prime
At the
Alex.
time of the 1994 UFO flap, the facility taught approximately 90 pupils, varying in age from between 5 and 12 years old. On the morning of Friday the 16th of September, all the teaching staff were taking part in a meeting inside the main school building and had left the 62 children who had attended that day to play unsupervised outside. As the youngsters had run and chased one another beneath the burning sunshine, they had suddenly become aware of 3 silver balls hovering in the sky above the schoolyard. Before long, the majority of the children had stopped to watch these objects, which would suddenly disappear in a flash of red light before reappearing again several meters away. With each successive disappearance and reappearance, the objects were slowly descending closer and closer to the ground, making some of the younger children feel anxious.
And how long did this go on for? And they didn't say like, hey, principal, there's some flying balls up in the sky here. Hey, we're getting a little scared here. There's some fucking aerial phenomenon right in front of us. Like, kids are tattletales. If anything's even somewhat out of order, they're going right to, like, a teacher or something. Like, this isn't something they're just gonna, like, not say anything on. To be fair, I would just watch. I mean, maybe as an adult I'd just watch too, but as a kid, like, at the first sign of anything, kids immediately just start, like, making noise. This is Groupthink Manifest. Well, I can tell you one thing. I don't think they were visited by aliens warning us about the future. Let's play with that for just a moment. Going back to that. Not only were they intergalactic travelers, they're fucking time travelers, warning us about our future. That's another crazy technological leap. And if they're that smart, that advanced, why would they tell a group of children at a small school? And also, why would they ever even make direct contact with people? They could just transmit the message. Because you won't believe. The reason they only told a group of children is because everyone believes children. Now I see. Of course. That guy's got the fucking iron jaw right there.
We are the IL. We are the IL. We are the IL, and we would like to be of service
Holy
to you
shit.
today, if we can, in any form, in any
Looks
way
like the
you
Crimson
wish.
Chin out here.
That we're going to be having consensual sex with these extraterrestrials.
Fuck yeah! When do we go to the Citadel with, all the other
A
races,
sort of, a
Krogans,
blend
Solarians, and shit?
From what I understand, they view us as basically completely insane. When they see us,
I can't
worrying
imagine
about things
why.
like death,
If aliens are
they find
actually
it
talking
hilarious.
to us and this
when
is
they
their
see us,
vessel,
running
I
around
imagine
like
they have the
Penguinz
worst
begins
impression of
to
us.
create money to me as Tahini Ra. He's almost like
This
me.
guy's not even like an alien
It's quite
whisperer.
weird
He's
when
like
I first
a
saw it.
Tinder
It was
for
like seeing me
aliens.
and another
Like he's
person.
our
And
Tinder,
so, yeah,
and the
he was
aliens are
a,
swiping left on us,
best friend
unfortunately.
in a way like that.
But what I'd like to talk about today is how it affected my consciousness.
Do you have any
spiritual
proof?
transformation I went
Sorry to
through
use
as
that
a
word around these
result
parts, but
of this contact.
how do I know you
I
actually
hesitate
contacted the
to call it a
Yayeli?
result of the contact.
Bringing in the IL, bringing in the IL.
Oh, he raps.
Stars, on earth they will dwell. Bringing in the IL.
Move over, Lil
bringing in
Nas.
the IL.
We got a new number one. Get out of here, Old Town Road.
Bringing in the IL.
I'm gonna scroll down and I'm gonna see Juice WRLD commented.
Greetings, friends of the universe. Today we are going to talk about the Yahyel extraterrestrial race. Who are the
How many of you
Yahyel?
knew about the
Where do they
Yahyel?
come from? And
You guys
what
were trying to
is their
keep this a secret
connection
from
to
me,
our
weren't you? You
planet?
didn't want me to open my
Let's
third
do
eye.
it. They are part of our galactic
Where did you
family
guys get
and
these-
very similar to us
Did they send
in
you
their
this
physical
picture?
appearance, together with full and graceful race of hybrid beings which consider us as
Now, this
their
looks like an
creators
advertisement
and
for
parents,
Christian Mingle.
Since our DNA is the
like
primal
Alita
component
Battle Angel
in their
eyes and
biological
shit.
makeup. That
Is-
are part of their collective as
What
well,
is this pose?
which can be a little more different than
Did they
us
catch a
in
mid
appearance.
Fortnite dance? Just keep.
Expectancy is around 300 years.
They're only 5'5"?
They have 5 fingers on their
Fuck,
hands.
fuck
and 4
humans.
toes.
I'm going
They
for
have
Yahyel
ears,
girls.
thin lips,
I'll be a
and
god
large
amongst
eyes
them.
With larger
I'm
pupils
5'6",
than
bitch.
humans.
Oh my god.
The
I
eye
will
color
rule the
in general
Yahyel.
is green or blue, but
Take
there
it
are
easy,
other colors
Earth
as well.
virgins. I'm out.
The Yahyel extraterrestrial are beings that are connected to the infinite. In that connection,
Isn't that
they
just
want
like a
us to
bad
understand
Second Life
that there are
avatar
other
for the
forms
lady
of
from
life,
Lord of the
not
Rings?
only that of the Yahyel, Sasani,
The omniscient
and
elf lady that I'm
Pleiadian
blanking
human
on her name.
civilizations. They help us realize the
Oh,
magnificent
man.
and loving beings that we actually are.
Here's another dank Lord of the
As
Rings
connection
reference. That
between
looks like
us
Gollum.
humans and the
As a
Yahyel
Yahyel, of
civilization
course.
unfolds,
Actually, it
they
just
will
looks like
share
Gollum,
more
really.
information about their
No
history,
Yahyel DNA
our
found there,
history,
just
and
Tolkien
more
DNA.
information about where we come. This is the Yahyel symbol, with which can be used to access the Yahyel collective consciousness.
How the
By
fuck do you
focusing
use that
or
symbol to
meditating
access
on
the
this symbol,
consciousness? Put
you
it in
are
Notepad?
inviting, calling,
And then I just
and
have like a
connecting
fucking
with them.
acid
As
drip
they
into their
say,
consciousness?
We now have access to
You
achieve
download the
contact.
app.
They chose this
Yeah, I
symbol
scanned the
because it
Yahyel QR
represents
code to
the
jack
idea
in.
Of a
It's
triangle.
the only way to communicate with them.
A triad as unfinished and incomplete. They say it symbolizes
Okay, everyone try
the idea
visualizing that
they
symbol
will
and
not
see if you
be
can communicate
complete
with them.
until they are reunited.
Ah, don't
with
come in
their
your pants
human
too hard.
family, which is not only
Oh, I'm
us,
getting
the
a
Earth
conscious
humans,
signal
but
from a
also
Yahyel.
other human
They're
races.
saying they won't come
If
until
you
everyone
see
subs
the
to
symbol
twitch.tv/voicecritical.
in meditations, deep mindful
This looks like a man that's channeled more than one Yahyel in his lifetime.
Who are happy
Don't
to give us
objectify the
information
Yahyel, they're more than
and
just
aid us in
titties.
our ascension and spiritual growth,
They're big
and
eyes,
simply
too.
to exchange knowledge. We know this has been a long and hard journey for nearly all
How do
of
I
you.
know this came
It
from a
has been hard,
Yahyel?
bumpy ride, but there has been
Do you have like a
some joys
signature
along the
signed
way.
Mr. Yahyel?
We know
Ishua
that
of the
many of
Yahyel,
you are
perhaps?
tired, and some are in these limitations, and it is now started. In the year of 2012,
What?
you
Oh, is this
have
what the
reached
Mayan calendar was
critical edge.
predicting?
Your planet just got
The
over
end of
7
Earth
billion
because the
people,
Yahyel
and
make
you
us
are
come
now
too hard
more
or something?
positive than negative.
Nature. And with that in mind, dear one, in what way would you most enjoy moving
Is he
forward
blind?
together in
They
this
say
day of our
Yahyel
time?
channelers actually willingly stabbed out their own eyes in order to only see the collective Yahyel consciousness. He's a hero.
Familiar with the Earth humans in your planet? We then are of another planetary location.
Can you get some? I don't want to talk
And
to
in that,
Ishua anymore.
we
Can you get someone
actually
else on the
have
line?
Origination.
I don't like
of
his
more than
attitude.
one planet. There are.
Doesn't matter, because again, as we are willingly sharing our love with each and every single one of you, one way or another, there will be other aspects of
How are they
yourselves
sharing their
that
love?
will
I've never met a
achieve
Yahyel.
state of realization in regards
Ishua's
to
never
state of
talked to
growth.
me in a wet dream or
Is
something.
there a particular goal to us in allowing yourselves to expand divinely?
Brad, just
The whole
hang up on
idea-
Adronis. Tell him I'm not interested. No soliciting. Let's go back to Ishua.
This is commonly known as channeling.
What is this? The Yahyel took a pedophile? They communicate to us through our sex offenders? Jesus. E.T. encounters, explore the fear. That's like a tagline for a WWE cage match. This Sunday, the Yahyel are bringing some fat boners to the octagon. Explore the fear. Alright, things are getting real weird right now in the world. I'm sure you've all seen the UFO hysteria. Every couple hours, it seems like a new UFO is being identified and blasted out of the sky. This is a phenomenon that's happening around the world, it seems, and it's leading people to believe that aliens are coming to visit us in droves, like they're all taking a school field trip to planet Earth, and then subsequently getting shot down, which I can't imagine would have been part of their itinerary. Now, this all started with the spy balloon that the US shot down. Basically, this balloon the size of a few school buses was identified and then executed. Just this giant balloon that looked like the house from Up, but instead of a house, it was just a surveillance device, which they said came from China, and from what I've read, China did take ownership of it, but called it an overreaction to shoot it down, which gave me a bit of a giggle, because I just love that image of like, hey, whoa, guys, hey, cool the jets a little bit here, calm down, you know, no need to get so rambunctious and shoot it down. Which is just a silly thought, but this kind of opened the floodgates to UFOs, like inviting this unknown menace in, because now UFOs are being sighted every day, every couple of hours really, across the world. A few hours ago, China said that it was preparing to shoot down an unidentified flying object, so they're all over the place. It's a very interesting situation, and this is even more weird considering I just posted a video going over aliens and how I don't believe they've ever visited Earth, and now 2 days later, we've got UFOs out the wazoo here. Maybe the madman I was arguing with on Twitch was right about warp drives, and they're fucking firing on turbo mode with their warp drive technology to visit us here. I'll go ahead and give my perspective now. I still am not convinced it's aliens, because if it was, we stand 0% chance of actually shooting them down. Our technology wouldn't even begin to make them, like, consider us a threat. We are so laughably low on the technological food chain of a species that can visit our planet, because they would have cracked things that are beyond our comprehension. There's no way they'd somehow fall victim to our weaponry. But zoinks Scoob, I'll tell ya, I couldn't be happier to be proven wrong. I would love if this truly was extraterrestrial tourists just coming by to visit, though I'm sure they wouldn't be happy about us destroying their, like, balloon travel devices, but god damn it, that would be amazing. I also love the idea that it actually is alien visitors, and the way that they get here is through, like, hot air balloon through space. Like, the most inefficient means of travel imaginable, but somehow that's the one that they've chosen. But regardless, I would love if it was aliens. I also love the discussion around aliens right now. You'll have people giving all kinds of, like, evidence, once again, of, like, abductions and shit. I fell asleep one day while working on the construction site, and when I woke up, there was ejaculate in my pants. And I didn't even remember having a wet dream. Fucking aliens abducted me and jerked me off in order to frame me to look like a weirdo at my job. You know, like, discussion around aliens has never been hotter than right now. And again, I would love if these UFOs really were alien, but I'm doubtful. And you know what? Maybe I could even make an argument for why aliens might want to visit Earth. Maybe they're coming here to buy Moist Global merch from moistglobal.com. It's so comfortable that words traveled across the galaxy. It's the best fucking merch ever designed, and they know it. So they have to come to Earth in order to get, like, proper connection to the server so that way they can purchase it. And you can too. It's all available at moistglobal.com. Right now we're doing a special 15% off on all Moist Esports merch, so definitely feel free to check all that out if you're interested. moistglobal.com, baby. Anyway, though, I find all this very exciting, even though I'm not fully sold on it being aliens. I am very curious to learn more about all of this, because I'm sure tons of information will start to surface about what these UFOs actually are, what their purpose is, where they come from, all that kind of shit. So, very interesting time period. I'll show you some clips from stream where we talked about it a little bit more. You see the UFO videos over Canada. Is there video of it? I only saw the picture of the one that got shot down. Let's see. NORAD stated that they lost Santa's tracking signal. I fear the worst. Oh god. Heaven have mercy on the elves. Yeah, that's what we have up right here, the Canada UFO thing. Someone said there was a video, but I haven't found it yet, aside from the cell phone one where you can't see shit. I hope it's aliens. But all the pictures make it seem like it's probably another balloon. NORAD just said they locked up airspace in Montana. Something came up on the radar and disappearing. I'm just gonna say it. I'm gonna say what everyone's thinking. It's no coincidence that Tom Brady retired and now all of a sudden aliens keep popping up. He was keeping us safe both on the field and off the field. The FAA has released a statement. The FAA has closed some airspace over northern Montana to support the Department of Defense operations. Contact NORAD for additional information. I'm also going to say that I really don't think it's anything extraterrestrial. There's no way that we would ever be able to fight back against something that could actually visit us. It'd be impossible. It's definitely more spy balloons or some kind of surveillance tech from somewhere on Earth. There'd be no shot we'd successfully shoot that shit down. Let alone ever see it. Yeah, maybe drones too. Could be any of that. You should go check it out, get us the real inside scoop. You know what Mr. Beast should do? He put out a tweet saying, would you vote for me for president? He should become president and just release all of the information they have about aliens. That'd be so hype. That video would be huge too, by the way. The views on that would be outrageous. Like, last to leave the circle gets all of the Area 51 documents. Yeah, and all of them are so fucking weak that they get shot down by primitive human technology. They can travel across the cosmos with technology we can't even begin to comprehend, yet they get shot down by our fucking jets. How embarrassing. A fun thought, though. They spec'd all of their points into travel and nothing into defense, so they're just full glass cannon build. Well, it wouldn't even be glass cannon. Glass wheel. So you talked about aliens 4 days ago, and they visit Montana and Alaska today. Thoughts? Hey, I think it's all connected. Maybe the aliens watch my streams and shit. They're like, oh fuck, he's talking about us. Alright, we'll show ourselves a little more often. That stream was fire. Aliens have come here to compete for Moist Esports. We talked about it on stream. If aliens do visit us, we want to be the ones to make first contact so we can sign them to Moist Esports. Imagine the position that gives us. They would be dog shit at video games. They don't need to go pro in any game. They can just be like content creators for us. Brand ambassadors. Yeah, pretty much. What do you mean? No, like if the aliens actually did show up and, you know, for some reason we negotiated a really good contract for them with Moist Esports, I think they wouldn't even need to really do anything special. But like if they're releasing the little balloons that we're shooting down, maybe fill one of those balloons with like I don't know, maybe Moist Esports merch or something, right? Or even paint it blue, like Moist Esports colors. Like, they wouldn't need to do anything special for us. They can keep doing what they're doing, but under the Moist Esports umbrella. What if the aliens break TOS? I mean, that's fine. We'd have to teach them the guidelines and shit. Plus, I doubt they'd want to go that hard anyway. Like, right now, all they're doing is getting shot down. Like, they're not doing anything too risky. On r/UFO, a UAP filmed with good quality in slow-mo at the Miami Air and Sea Show. 3 videos from different angles. Ran the enhanced version of the spinning Miami UAP. What the fuck did... This? Bro, if that is an alien spacecraft, they have got to be the most dizzy species in the galaxy. Holy shit, if that's how they, like, traverse the cosmos. It's like a laundry machine. Like a washer. It looks more like a big hat being taken away by a strong gust of wind. That's a frisbee in slow-mo. No, it more looks like it's something like a septic tank or something that fell out of an airplane and they reversed the footage. So after it hit the water, they just reversed the footage and they just have it tumbling. Like, I feel like I'm just watching something in reverse like that. My theory on why a super advanced extraterrestrial species might have become interested in nuclear materials in the 1940s. What? If they can visit our planet, surely they wouldn't care about nuclear materials. They would have literally cracked faster than light travel to get here. Why would they care about nuclear material? I just want to see this UAP again. If this case is genuine, after watching the film, I'm 90% convinced that there is no other plausible explanation, and perhaps abduction's claims are also true. From this? Bro, if this is accurate, if there are tiny little aliens in there, I no longer have anything to fear from them. Because they will not even be able to... They'll be walking around like they're fucking drunk. If this is how they travel. Literally blasting against the sides of a small metallic object. They're just getting pinballed in there. You don't know how they work? True, I guess they could be like gyroscopic. Everything's tumbling around them, but they're perfectly still. In that case, why have everything tumble, though? Oh, even they're making fun of it. Okay, so maybe they don't actually believe it. That might be sarcasm. I didn't think it was a bird until I saw this filtered video. The white looks like wings flapping up and down to me, with reverse colors due to one of the filters. I actually didn't even consider a bird. It looks metallic. It really looks like a piece of something that just fell off and got taken by wind. I think he's absolutely right, though. Hold on. Looking at it again, it does look like these are wings. Yep, that might just actually be a bird. Analysis here. What in the fuck is... What is this? Oh. Alright, so the majority of these are just talking about how it's likely a bird, but then there's some that are doing deep Zodiac Killer level analysis on it. I don't understand, though. Where are the other angles that you were talking about? Oh, here we go, here we go. What the fuck? That actually looks like a ball that just gets taken up. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's not a bird. I don't know. What a weird, goofy thing. It's a fucking beach ball. Maybe? I don't know. If this is like the speed of it, though, what kind of bird can go that fast, like, upwards? Thanks to Maya, I learned hawks can dive at like 300 miles per hour, so if it was going down, I'd believe it's a hawk. But this is going up, right? Is this a spaceship made out of spider webs? What the fuck is that? Okay, so this is clearly not the same event. It looks like a badminton shuttlecock. So this isn't even the same event, and it's still here.
I'm on Glenstone in Springfield, Missouri. That is a cube spinning on an axis. Flickering. It's got lights around it.
A cube?
Middle of the day.
What? I guess he can see it better than I can. Shit looks like the golden snitch. These are the smallest aliens ever. I don't think it's aliens, though. That would be wild if... I would love if it was aliens, though. That would be great. It's fucking balloons. There's probably some experiment. Bro, I don't think this is an experiment. I think this is something very simple, like a really simple explanation. I don't think it's an experiment. I don't think it's aliens. I think it's probably something very easily explained that got taken by strong winds here. Like, I mean, if we want to go like full fantasy or sci-fi here, I guess there is a multiverse out there where this is a small alien surveillance drone. I guess. Explain that now. What, the triangle? Are you talking about this? Alright, let's put on our thinking caps for a moment. Why would aliens visit this planet covertly while also having 4 giant lights and a Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer blinking on it? This is absolutely just a normal drone. Okay, but what if it wasn't? There would be no one happier with the confirmation of a real alien visitation than me. I want these to be real. I want to make that clear. It would make me extremely happy. Since I was an actual infant, my dad has been telling me for years, aliens have visited our planet and we're going to see them one day. I would love that. My dad and I would talk for hours about it. But I don't think the triangle or the tiny little ball bearing that gets taken into the sky here is those aliens. I guess it could be D.B. Cooper's spacecraft too, yeah. I guess you never really know.
Right over our heads. Pointing it right at him. And now he's turning.
Whoa, whoa!
Yeah.
You're scaring him!
Yeah, it just flashed. I'm lasering at him.
God, they're gonna blow up our fucking planet. Stop pranking him. Stephen Greer has an app called CE5 Contact that teaches you how to perform a seance and summon UFOs. In the documentary Close Encounter of the Fifth Kind, you can supposedly see it working. I might need to learn that seance. Ever had a personal alien/UFO encounter? No, but if you ask that question to my dad, he's going to tell you the same story he tells everyone else anytime it gets brought up. My dad is convinced that one time he and I saw a UFO together. We were on a lake and there was a big bright light in the sky. I don't remember exactly like how bright or anything like that, but I remember it being like a big bright light in the sky. And my dad and I looked at each other and he pointed at it and I was like, yeah, I see it. And then when we looked back, it was gone. And my dad is convinced that that was legitimate aliens that were watching us. I don't think it was the sun because it was past sundown. But at this point, it's been so long that it might have just been the sun. I don't know. If I had to guess, it was probably just like an actual like plane that was moving fast and low. Because it was sundown, so you could definitely see plane lights in the sky. But it was lower than you would expect. But I'm guessing it was probably a plane. Especially since that lake was near an airport anyway. Why do you refuse to believe the truth? I just don't think that was aliens. Like, why would the aliens fly a goddamn spotlight to our planet? Why would they come here in a giant disco ball ship that's super bright over a lake? Why would they do that? That makes no sense. We would do a lot of mundane shit too if we invade another planet like aliens did. I just don't think so. I think if we found life on another planet, we'd first try to covertly study it. Like, if we found them and they didn't know we were there, we would absolutely try our absolute utmost to not disturb them or alert them to our presence. 100%. And then we'd try and conquer them. Once we learned whether or not we were technologically advanced more than they are. Like, it wouldn't make any sense to immediately go to the planet and try and host, like, a rave. Like, I don't think we would fly to a distant planet, another solar system, and bring, you know, like, Deadmau5 out and the whole crew to, like, party on the planet right away. We'd, like, ease into it. I recently learned about a community on YouTube who uses something called light language to channel and communicate with aliens. And I just found it to be truly wild, so I've been practicing my light language, but I've been unable to get them on the line. I guess I just have bad service to the cosmic entities out there. So I fear my third eye may be forever closed. I might never experience the joy of tapping into that intergalactic Wi-Fi and communicating with these spacefaring organisms. However, not all is lost. I found a great YouTube channel called Skylife that actually did a really interesting video on it where she met with and interviewed an individual who claims to be able to communicate with aliens. I guess more accurately, she's able to allow alien communication through her as like a vessel. Kind of like in SpongeBob when they have the magic conch. Like, she is the human magic conch for the 5G extraterrestrials out there. Now, this should go without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway in my own version of light language. Do not go harass anyone in this video. Don't be a fucking douchebag. No matter how you feel about alien channeling or communication or anything like that, just don't be a fucking asshole. One thing that I've learned about recently, I haven't watched this video, but there is I think she's a YouTuber who talks to aliens. And it's kind of similar to the Kundalini. She's able to tap into the alien hierarchy and speak their language to us.
If I weren't experiencing this reality, it would seem insane to me.
Do you believe you're an alien?
Definitely. I can open up a portal, speak your own version of light language as well.
See, like, I feel like aliens communicate with just orgasms. Because every time there's an alien channeler, they're just constantly busting.
Activation vibration.
Do we have anyone fluent in light language that can translate? Like, I know I couldn't pop that in a babblefish. Shit would just explode. You have any experts? You're dog shit, kid. Okay. I mean, that awfully long-winded for such a short sentence, but who am I to question the aliens?
They actually feel that they've come to Earth.
That was pretty low effort. At least the other ones are putting effort into making it sound like almost a language. Hers is just quiche, quiche, quiche.
They actually feel that they've come to Earth from another part of the galaxy. She's coming.
Quiche, mama, quiche, quiche.
For like 2 years.
Welcome.
I've been feeling you like you've been coming through the realms recently.
What does that mean, coming through the realms?
Like you've been appearing in different realities, your name.
So I believe you're understanding the gist of it, where it's individuals who enter a trance-like state. Like, you know when you're really fucking turbo gaming and you just enter this flow state where everything just starts connecting? They enter that zone and then start speaking light language, which is their way of communicating with aliens, I believe, at least to my understanding. Now, one thing that I'd like to immediately question here is whether or not the individual Skylife is meeting with is actually the human or aliens using her like a fucking meat puppet. You know, there's no way of confirming whether or not there's a human soul in that body anymore, because maybe she went too deep. She got too lost into the cosmic vibrations, the chakras, and the aliens, you know, like you stare too long in the abyss and it stares back into you. The aliens have now taken over that body, right? Kind of like in Peacemaker with the butterflies. What a lovely portal.
Where I live, we call it the portal.
Really? There's a
Whoa.
resonant vibe.
There's lots of synchronicities happening already.
There's so much nothing words.
Sekhmet.
What does that mean?
It's actually the
So
lion
many
goddess
synchronicities
from
and
Egypt. He's a guy,
quarks.
but genders are. There's different crystals actually
I
aligned
saw a bottle
throughout
of
the
brain
place, all
juice.
set with intention to like hold a specific frequency so that you feel good, so that you feel nourished, so that you feel loved.
That's my favorite frequency. Is that FM or AM?
Can we talk about this beautiful altar?
Yeah, she likes Shungite and shit, which is cool.
That are energetically represented.
Rest in peace, any
and,
Wi-Fi
symbolic
signals trying to
of
penetrate
certain
here.
Frequencies to invoke. Though I haven't eaten meat in 11 years,
Wow.
actually, until I just did ayahuasca 2 weeks ago, and I had
What's
this whole
that?
thing come through where it was like I partly identify with the fact that I've been vegan, that I haven't eaten meat for over 11 years, and I'm like, I need to dissolve that ego.
I want to sit down and really
Yes.
dive into all of this.
Let's do it.
So let's go back to.
I like to imagine that situation. Fuck, I've been vegan for 11 years. I'm becoming too self-centered. Fucking starts blasting chicken nuggets and chicken wings. Alright, good. Now I'm humbled again. Back to being vegan. This story here really confused me. It was like veganism tenet. Like, I don't really know what she was trying to say. So I looked up ayahuasca because I've never heard of that before. And it's apparently a plant-based psychedelic. So she basically had a trip and then was like, damn, I partly identify as being vegan. Which would make sense, right? Like, if you made the choice to be vegan, you should fully identify as being vegan. So why is it partly? And why is she looking at it as a negative thing? Perhaps this was like one of those weird out-of-body experiences. Like when Doctor Strange blasts fucking Spider-Man's soul out of his body and Tom Holland is like floating outside and he's like, damn. She must have had that happen. Like the ayahuasca just split soul from vessel. And she was like, shit, that's a vegan. And then what? Like, I don't know if because she said she didn't eat meat for 11 years until she did ayahuasca, so I'm assuming when she did, she started just fucking pounding meat, like gluttonous, grabbing pork, duck, veal, lamb, you know, all kinds of shit. Like, that's the impression I got. Like, she was a vegan for 11 years until ayahuasca, where she had this epiphany where it's like, gee willikers, I guess I was vegan. Time to dissolve that for some reason. And it might be my fault because I'm not fluent in light language, so I have a hard time wrapping my head around a concept this big brain, this galaxy brain. Like in the cosmic scale of intelligence, I'm still down here at like the primordial ooze, and she's somewhere towards like a level 3, like a type 3 civilization intelligence, I think. Because I couldn't even spell ayahuasca. I thought ayahuasca was like a small town somewhere in the Midwest. I didn't know it was a psychedelic or anything. And when I was Googling it, I had to spell it like 20 different ways before I finally found the correct spelling for the plant-based psychedelic. So really, it's probably just my lack of understanding because my brain isn't like truly opened. I'm not using 150% of all my neurons.
What's it called? A hand drum?
A handpan, but it's a space drum. It
It's
is
a UFO.
It's actually a spaceship.
In your lab.
It's a
that
cosmic
plays
instrument.
Sound frequencies that are like cosmic binaural beat sound frequencies that register to certain parts of your brain and activate certain awarenesses and consciousness.
It's like the secret space program instruments.
Feel. Same thing as light language.
I don't understand.
Unlocking our memories from our spacefaring days.
How do I do it?
It's kind of like I would love to.
I'd love to talk to
create a
some aliens,
space, a
please.
Container to where you feel comfortable.
Say
and
what's
if you
up.
feel called to allow your soul
They have
to speak
Fortnite
your
out
own
there?
version of light language as well. And as I was meditating, these 3 light beings appeared on each side of my bed, like kind of what you would think an alien would look like, where they were really tall, their heads were different shapes, and their arms and their legs were more lengthy, and they had maybe about 3 or 4 fingers I couldn't
so like
fully see, but they weren't
you
physical
communicated
form,
with a
they were
Ninja Turtle.
emanations of light. I woke up
You
the
were
next-
awake.
I was awake.
Imagine
I was not sleeping.
Mikey's
I
just
wasn't in a dream,
communicating
and
with
they
her.
lifted
It's like, I just
out
need a
my
pizza.
light body so I could see it. Almost. I started thinking about Arcturians. Arcturians.
Oh,
what are
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Arcturians?
So the name Arcturians just
Real quick, just to connect everything here, this is so serendipitous she decided to bring this up. I mean, maybe we are vibrating on the same frequencies thanks to this portal. The SSP, Secret Space Program, that's very big in Arcturians. So the Arcturians, they're a spacefaring lizard race, and they can also have shape-shifting abilities as well as vampirism. I think they can also be werewolves as well. So really, it all kind of blends together. So she might be speaking the truth. She could be a Secret Space Program member. Yeah, I'm sure all of you that accept the truth of our universe are very familiar with the Arcturians. Very cunning, very intelligent beings out there. In Mass Effect, I'm sure they were somewhere in the Citadel as well. They're something that always gets brought up in pretty much every single conspiracy theory, that at least ones that involve space. I don't exactly understand why, but somehow Arcturians just always find their way into these communities.
Fully relaxing your nervous system.
Can we move the cat? It's gonna get caught in the crossfire beams. Oh shit. Fuck, I'm starting to transcend. And I don't even have, like, the eucalyptus oil on me or whatever. Oh my god. Oh, Kalimba!
Shwarasiki asha salafwa kapi as asham indiki asha safua.
It's coming!
It still.
Which is natural and normal, and that's a part of the fun, where it's like, we forget so that we can remember.
My fear is that I'm just gonna make things up.
At first it may feel like that, but you have to give yourself permission, because that's still the ego doubting.
It's like
and then if
the
he's
exact
speaking to
opposite,
you
I would
as
think.
well, it'll be a conversation.
So from what I can tell here, the ritual, the sacred ceremony to start summoning the aliens here to our dimension consists of just laying down while having obscure instruments being played over top of you, I guess, to align your vibrational, you know, frequency with the correct space frequency or something. I like when she brought out the kalimba, though. I actually had a kalimba myself for a while that I can't find now. Perhaps some kind of cosmic burglar came in to steal it because maybe kalimbas are too powerful an instrument. Maybe I was pretty close to summoning a dangerous alien here. But I had this kalimba and I could play the Teriyaki Boys on it from Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift. The dun 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 dun. Yeah, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. So I was a little disappointed to see that she didn't break out into that solo there and get that pumping, because that probably would have summoned some fucking badass aliens. Like, the aliens would have come in and start talking about, like, fucking horsepower, diesel, suspension, shocks, and carburetors. They probably wouldn't have even summoned an alien, and they just probably would have brought in Dominic Toretto or something. I also really like that line, "We forget so that we can remember." That's basically just a Mudvayne song, "Forget to Remember." So maybe they're summoning the spirit of Mudvayne, I guess, trying to get that band back together.
Okay, so like bringing your energy into our hands, and let's activate
That was
the
profound.
energy. And so we're just gonna
Speak
be like,
it.
kind of moving the torso.
Come on, let's go. Oh, she's falling into the galactic stream of vibrations. The chakras. Oh, fuck! It's a close encounter with the third kind! Be careful! It's too much energy! She's gonna go turn into Dr. Manhattan! Who am I communicating with? Who's on the horn? Banish it! Ah! Get out of this realm! No! She's too deep! Alright, we're coming down. Fuck, that was close. She was tapped into the mainframe. Oh, now she's communicating with an alien comedian, huh? What's he saying? Good lord. Jesus! Let her go! Oh god, no! Jesus, have some class! These fucking cosmic beings! Stop it! Oh my god. Where did she travel?
Okay, that's it.
Sounds good.
The adventure continues.
Yep. Bye-bye. That was interesting. You know, that was pretty good. Skippity-dee-dee, boop-bada-bop. Boom-bottom-bop. That was me saying goodbye in light language. It does seem cathartic to just get the wiggles out and like just have a full body exorcism like that. I imagine that probably feels pretty good. I don't know if it necessarily makes me a believer in the communication with aliens through light language, but if nothing else, as long as it makes them happy, I guess that's what matters. You know, it's not hurting anyone. It's pretty harmless. Just, yeah, thought it was a pretty interesting and fun community to talk about and share a bit of. And anyway, that's really about it. See ya.